launched wings. They're not calling them back. They've been launched. And then all of a sudden, over the radio line comes the telephone call, patched in. It's the president. I want that goddamn ship going to the bottom. That's a quote. I want that goddamn ship going to the bottom. So if you think the government cares about any of you, these are their military. These are their servants. The Russian trawling ship, spy ship, pulls up. It's witnessing the commando troops coming in on the helicopters now. The commandos are coming in. They're coming in to kill everybody. They're going to put special forces on the boat. They're going to kill everybody. And they see the Russians. The Russians are filming all of this. They back off. They fly off, and they come. But still the carriers don't help them. The ship has to limp. They're hoping it sinks. Oh, if it gets to be night, we can still send the commandos in. We're not going to help them yet. Maybe we can still kill them. And so that happens. And I don't even blame Israel for this. Obviously, Israel's a client state of the globalist, like most other Western nations. People who say it's just Israel, and there's certainly a party to it, just like a street soldier on the ground takes an order from a Don, who gives an order to a capo, who gives it to the street thug to carry out a murder, carry out a robbery. But we know from the admirals, LBJ had control of that ship and was trying to sink it, which was in Operation Northwoods. And then they could have said, those dirty Arabs, they killed our men. They were just out there fighting for America, doing what they had to for this country. And they could have moved in to the entire Middle East, and that was the plan. We now have those declassified battle plans. And if the Soviets would have resisted, they were going to send in the cruise missiles, the nuclear cruise missiles. They were going to send in the bombers. They were going to kill most of that population. I'm not saying we'll get our hair musk, kind of like they say in Dr. Strangelove. I mean, that's the type of craziness that we're dealing with these individuals. Now, skipping forward to the Oklahoma City bombing, April 19th, 1995 at 9:01 a.m., we have a truck bomb detonate, and it blows the facade off the building, and then it blows pillars further away in the back of the building out, and we all get news videotape of this, and they're perfectly blasted off. I think we've seen this before, or seen this later, Back to the Future. They're blasting off the columns. They're destroying them, and suddenly the governor goes, yeah, the police found bombs. The police say they found bombs. I've interviewed police officers, FBI agents, others who saw the bombs, plastic explosive, jacketing these columns. They remove it. Then the local police are good folks. They're saying, yeah, we got reports that he was with Arabs. This was going on. This was happening. John Doe number 2, these other people, they were at this hotel. We have surveillance tapes. The government says national security. We're not releasing those 12 surveillance camera tapes, which FBI agents have told the LA Times and myself. They saw it, and it's McVeigh with Arabs. He gets out with one of them. We even know his name, Al Hussein. He gets out. They go out and meet with some other Arabs and drive off. They're going, well, Arabs attacked us. No, they didn't, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, Saddam is our ally, America's ally, the globalist ally. People have hijacked America's ally as their engine of control from the time he gets into power in a CIA staged coup in 1979. They staged his ascendance to Bath security chief in 69. He was their assassin back in the early 50s. They hired him, trained him in Egypt for 2 years in assassination. He killed all these people. He was a big strapping killer. And they said, we'll quit killing all of you. And he was personally killing people. He was like, keep using the Italian mob analogy. He was like Luca Brasi. And so they tell him, you put him in as security chief, 69, we'll leave you alone. This is all British intelligence. And because they make all the decisions and we implement them. We're their muscle. They've always run this country. And then from there, he gets into power in 79, and within 2 years, there's this massive $30-something billion U.S.-funded attack on Iran. And 1.5 million Iranians died conservatively up against, high-tech weapons, and Saddam's this big darling. And then along comes 1990, and April Gillespie's sitting there. You've all probably seen the tape, and he says, I'm going to attack Kuwait. They're stealing my oil. And she goes, we're allies with you. We don't get involved in inter-Arab affairs. And he thinks, well, I'm getting another order to attack somebody. So he does it. And then Bush gets on TV, Bush Sr., and starts calling him the sodomizer. His name is Saddam Hussein. They start calling him Sodom, Sodom and Gomorrah. He's Saddam Hussein. Now he can't. Now he's going to be overthrown if he doesn't. And he's going, he starts saying, I was told to do this. Then we have PR firms saying they were throwing babies out of incubators and all this. Just like they claimed Iran wants to make Jews wear yellow stars and Christians blue tags. All made up. Same thing, same people. That comes out. All this happens. And so we fast forward to the Oklahoma City bombing. There were all these Iraqis trained in the 80s here in the U.S., trained at the different military schools in demolition and torture, School of Americas, all these places. This is on the record. So the war ends. They go into southern Iraq. They bring in, Bush Sr. brings in like 3,200 Iraqi Republican Guard officers. And then Clinton brings in roughly 2,000 more. And this is LA Times, Washington Post, Washington Times. Have them all on the website. It's in Road to Tyranny. So they bring them in to the country. They're now here. And they're all over. In fact, Chicago's one of the big cities. I've told, got a couple 100-man team here ready to burn this baby down. Think about that. They got them in Austin. They got them in Houston. For some reason, they're mainly in the central area. It's like that's their responsibility for my intel. They got small teams. You know what Special Forces teams can do to your city? And these guys are highly paid. They got their mistresses and their Jaguars and their $1 million houses, and they're all just waiting. It's a big joke to them to kill a whole bunch of us. That's why I'm here fighting them. I'm not going to put up with it. So they bring McVeigh, who when the state police found him was all drugged out, stumbling around, saying weird things, foaming at the mouth, literally. And then that's their patsy, just like Lee Harvey Oswald, like all these people. It's the same MO, Marinus Vanderloob, poor retarded guy, naked, rolling around. They're always rolling around, drugged out. So it's and he did it. It's all his fault. And so that's what happened with Oklahoma City, and they used that to pass the omnibus crime bill, which federalized a lot of our police. Started setting it funded all these black Darth Vader outfits you've seen that have been given to your local police departments, and they're all strutting around and stomping around. That's a federal legislation. The cameras, they said, were for traffic, and the microphones that were gunshot detectors, and now they mention, no, it's to surveil you. No, it's for your safety, but the border stays open. So all of this is going on. And there's so much evidence in Oklahoma, I could talk for 5 hours on it, not even scratch the surface. I mean, BATF shows up in bomb gear 30 seconds after the bomb. Stuff takes 20 minutes to put on. Local cops talk to them, who I've interviewed before they kill them. And they're sitting there, Cop of the Year, Terrence Yakey and others, and they're going, what's going on here? You guys are all, we got a call not to come in. I mean, I could digress back to the first World Trade Center bombing in 1993, where the FBI on the record, it's hidden in plain sight, hidden in plain view, cooked the bomb, trained the driver, again, hired 2 guys who were on New York welfare for being retarded. Same story. You go to a place with a blind sheet, can't see who you are. He's sitting there above the pizza place with about 30 members, going like, poor guy, he doesn't know what's going on. They're creeping around. They find 2 guys who are on subsidy for being retarded, and they go and they get them, and then they tell them it's the jihad for Allah, this holy fight, and they cooked the bomb and trained the driver, and the FBI even went with their informant and showed them where to park it. You park it right up against this column. Thank God they didn't, or it could have caused a lot more problems. So all of this happens. All of this is going on, and they're getting ready to do it again in America, and we need to put it on the record that it's happening. Now, before I get into 9/11, which is why you're here tonight, I want to talk about Iraq briefly, because